Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. IU Indy vs. Eastern Michigan game preview. In an unexpected twist, the matchup between the Indiana University Indianapolis Jaguars and the Eastern Michigan Eagles is drawing attention for the wrong reasons, with the Eagles' struggles this season making them the underdogs despite the teams being at different levels. Eastern Michigan has been plagued by poor shooting, currently hitting just 41.6% from the field, which includes a game against a non-Division I opponent. Meanwhile, the Jaguars have been more efficient offensively and hold a significant edge in rebounding. As a result, expect IU Indy to secure an upset victory. Both teams have had their issues on offense this season, but they have compensated with solid defensive performances. IU Indy ranks 81st in the country with an 87.9 defensive rating, while Eastern Michigan sits slightly behind at 96th with a defensive rating of 90.0. In terms of shooting from beyond the arc, neither team has been impressive. The Eagles are converting just 26.2% of their three-point attempts, while the Jaguars are shooting a better 41%, though this statistic is influenced by competition against weaker opponents. With both teams focusing on defense and limiting clean looks, the total points for this game is expected to be low, making the under on 141.5 total points the stronger bet. Northern Iowa vs. Wichita State game preview. The all-time series between Northern Iowa and Wichita State is tied, with both teams having won 28 games against each other. However, recent performances suggest that Wichita State holds a clear advantage heading into this matchup. Despite a setback against UC Irvine, Northern Iowa has struggled to maintain consistent offensive production, especially when faced with tougher defenses. Wichita State, on the other hand, has started the season strong, fueled by a deep roster with 6 players averaging double-digit points. While both teams have had success early in the season, Wichita State's offensive firepower and defensive resilience make them the clear favorite. The Shockers have managed to limit their opponents to just 38.5% shooting, making it tough for teams to score. In their recent meetings, Wichita State has been dominant, posting a 4-2 record straight up and against the spread in their last 6 matchups with Northern Iowa. Prediction: Wichita State minus 7.5 points. Wichita State's offense, led by several key scorers, has the edge over Northern Iowa, who will need to improve their shooting after a disappointing performance in their previous game. The Shockers' depth and offensive efficiency should be enough to cover the spread and secure a comfortable victory. Total points prediction: over 153.5 points. Both teams have relied on strong offensive performances this season, and while Northern Iowa's shooting can be inconsistent, they have the potential to score at a higher rate. Wichita State's potent offense, combined with their fast tempo, ranking 61st in tempo per KenPom, will likely push the total points over 153.5, especially with the Shockers controlling the game pace at home. Southern Illinois vs. Oklahoma State game preview. Oklahoma State enters this matchup with a 2-0 record, but their victories over Green Bay, 89-76, and St. Thomas, MN, 80-71, haven't been as dominant as expected from a Power 5 program. With an average margin of victory of just plus 11.0 points, the Cowboys haven't yet impressed against lower-tier competition. On the other hand, Southern Illinois is led by Scott Nagy, a coach with 5 NCAA tournament appearances under his belt, bringing a wealth of experience to the Salukis. Despite a slight edge in KenPom's adjusted efficiency margin, plus 7.98 for Oklahoma State compared to plus 0.10 for Southern Illinois, the Salukis appear to offer value, especially with the spread sitting near double digits. Prediction: Southern Illinois plus 9.5 points. Given Southern Illinois' solid coaching and ability to stay competitive, coupled with Oklahoma State's unimpressive victories, the Salukis are poised to cover the spread in this one. Total points prediction: under 156.5 points. Both teams play at a fast pace, with Oklahoma State ranking 10th in the nation for possessions per game, 74.9, and Southern Illinois not far behind at 31st, 73.5. However, neither offense has been efficient so far, with both programs ranking 138th or worse in adjusted offensive efficiency. Furthermore, Oklahoma State's defense, ranked 65th in adjusted defensive efficiency, could limit scoring opportunities. Given these factors, the total points should stay under the high line of 156.5. LSU versus Kansas State game preview. Kansas State has been dominant at home, controlling games from the start and showcasing their experience and offensive depth. The Wildcats have a versatile lineup, with forwards who can stretch the floor with three-point shooting while also being a threat inside. LSU, on the other hand, has had mixed performances so far, including a fortunate win over Alabama State, where they shot a dismal 1-20 from beyond the arc. The Tigers have struggled with turnovers and lack three-point shooting depth, which will be problematic in their first road game of the season. Kansas State's experience and balanced attack make them the superior team in this matchup, and they should cover the spread at home. Prediction: Kansas State minus 7.5 points. Kansas State's ability to control the game and exploit LSU's weaknesses will give them the edge to cover the spread in this matchup. Total points prediction: under 149.5 points. Both teams have played at a fast pace against weaker opponents, but expect a slowdown in this game. Both squads have been strong defensively, and LSU's struggles with turnovers will limit their offensive possessions. While Kansas State has been shooting efficiently, LSU's defense should be able to slow them down enough to keep the game under the total. Northern Arizona versus Pacific game preview. After a strong start to the season with triple-digit scoring against non-D1 opponents, Northern Arizona was humbled in their first road test with a 90-64 loss to Stanford. In that game, the Lumberjacks struggled defensively, allowing the Cardinal to shoot over 56% from the field and more than 52% from beyond the arc. Despite standout performances from Trent McLaughlin, 20 points, and Oakland Fort, 13 points, the Lumberjacks failed to cover the spread as 18-point underdogs. In contrast, Pacific also suffered a road loss to Hawaii, falling 76-66 in the Rainbow Classic. The Tigers struggled defensively, shooting just 37.7% from the field, and while they defended the three-point line well, they couldn't keep pace with the Rainbow Warriors. Last season, Northern Arizona beat Pacific 78-58 at home, and despite the tough loss to Stanford, NVU's veteran leadership gives them an edge in this matchup. McLaughlin, who is averaging 25.7 points per game, leads the charge for the Lumberjacks alongside Carson Tout, who's averaging a double-double. Pacific has some new faces, but key players like Elijah Fisher, 17.5 ppg, and Elias Ralph, 17.8 ppg, have shown promise. However, with Fisher coming off a tough shooting game and Pacific struggling to find consistency, Northern Arizona should at least cover the spread. Prediction: Northern Arizona plus 6.5 points. Despite their tough loss to Stanford, Northern Arizona's veteran presence and better shooting performance in their previous games should allow them to stay competitive against a Pacific team that is still finding its footing. Total points prediction: under 150.5 points. Both teams have played slower-paced games this season, with Pacific ranking 220th in team possessions per game and Northern Arizona sitting at 359th. Their last meeting was a low-scoring affair, and with both teams struggling offensively in their most recent outings, this game is likely to stay under the total. Expect a slower, defensive-focused game in this non-conference matchup.